great. This is great. We've got our girl squad and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win. How's it going? Are you guys helping ICE out tonight? Okay, alright. No, we're good.
Okay, so a video has surfaced of Tennessee State Representative Afton Bain of admitting to bullying ICE vehicles and Tennessee State troopers.
Okay. We found the ICE and the THP people, and then we followed them to the gas station, and I took their spot at the gas station, so I think that made them a little upset, and then...
Now that's her friend Nikki, who happened to make this Instagram post and said, Madison ICE Watch, we were pulled over and cited, stalled at least 4 ICE vehicles for 20 minutes. Now a Tennessee congressman has made this public, so we're going to work together, look at the footage, and see if they have admitted to a crime. Spoiler alert, I think they did.
We found the ICE and the THP people, and then we followed them to the gas station, and I took their spot at the gas station, so I think that made them a little upset.
Well, this sounds like stalking, and we have plenty more video to go through, but right at the beginning she says we, meaning both of them, have found Tennessee Highway Patrol and ICE vehicles. That's fine, but then she says we followed them to the gas station.
And then I tried to go in the gas station, go to the bathroom, but the gas station people would not let me go, even though I told them I really had to. And then when I got out, they were leaving, so I left too. And then they pulled into another parking lot, and when I pulled into the other parking lot behind them, then they flicked their lights to pull us over and accused me of running a red light.
I mean, you can't make this stuff up. She now admits to leaving after they leave as they pull into a parking lot. She now pulls into a parking lot behind them. Again, this really sounds like stalking.
So there we are.
So here we are.
Tomato, tomato.
Help.
Okay, why do you think that they came up to my side, the state trooper came up to my side of the window and not Nikki's window? Why do you think that happened?
Also, she did not have to give her ID. Am I correct? I know I'm correct because I asked this earlier.
So one, why do you think that the state trooper came up to my window, not Nikki's? And then did he ask for my ID and Nikki said that wasn't?
And he said it's a lawful order.
It's a lawful order.
Not.
You heard that correctly. Somebody who's in charge of Tennessee state laws doesn't know why law enforcement would come over on her side and not stand in the road to ask them what the heck are they doing.
Hi everyone, it is 12:15 in Madison, Tennessee, and Nikki and I are sandwiched in between 2 ICE cars, one of which is making arrest in front of us. Let me see if I can show you all this. They have tried to put on their flashers or lights to show us, to basically prevent us from filming, but they are arresting someone. And then we have someone behind us as well, another ICE vehicle, who basically tried to block us in. So this is the lived reality of our neighbors right now in Nashville.
Now, it's not illegal to film ICE agents. However, you would think that a state representative knows it's illegal in the state of Tennessee to obstruct or get in the way of ICE doing their job. And remember, her friend Nikki even posted on Instagram, stalled at least 4 ICE vehicles for 20 minutes.
And it's really fucking scary. And for those of you watching, please continue to report. What is the Instagram handle? It's been a long night. It's been a long night. Let me grow watch. Yes. Okay. So anyways, once again, we're in Madison. We are sandwiched between 2 ICE cars, one of which is making an arrest. Yes. And they're arresting someone. We've been trailing ICE in Madison all night. It's been pretty bad. They've been pulling over people at random. They've been flashing their lights to ensure that there's not accountability. We've been trying to record videos as needed. And then we've got ICE behind us as well.
Now again, in the video, she's fully admitting that we followed ICE agents all night. You cross-reference that over to the Instagram post, we stalled at least 4 ICE agent vehicles for 20 minutes. Look, it's not illegal to film ICE agents, but as far as stalling the vehicles or getting in the way of them trying to do their job, that is totally illegal. We will dig into the laws a little later in the video.
They actually might. Are they gonna come at us?
I don't know. I'm not scared.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see, but we're just gonna keep live just in case this ICE vehicle behind us tries to come after us, which should be interesting since I'm an elected official. What do you think is the worst that they could do?
They actually can't do anything. ICE has no jurisdiction.
They can't do anything because ICE has no jurisdiction over us. That's right, Nikki.
Now, if you follow my channel, you know this is a very common theme for an elected official to let everyone know, hey, I'm an elected official, and by the way, ICE, you can't do what you're doing. However, this elected official doesn't know, and she'll find out real quick. ICE, they do have radios and the ability to call in, hey, we think somebody's following us.
Anyways, guys, once again, we are in Madison. We are tracking ICE. We have been sandwiched in between these 2 ICE vehicles. So there's one, and there's the other. Sorry, it's so blurry. And unfortunately, someone's getting arrested. But once again, we have been trailing these ICE vehicles that are in mostly silver type-esque, like Nissans and Hondas, and then they flicker on their lights, but they're unmarked silver cars, FYI.
Again, admitting to stalking with intent. We've been following these ICE vehicles, and I also want to mention the ICE vehicle might be behind her as well to make sure you're not somebody crazy trying to attack that ICE agent who has the right in the state of Tennessee to go after an illegal immigrant. And by the way, we are granting that that illegal immigrant is somebody who hasn't committed a violent crime, by the way.
All right, there we go. This is good. So this is, you're seeing live an arrest of an ICE vehicle. There's also a state trooper in front of them. Nikki, what does it look like they're doing?
So he's been handcuffed and standing there, and I thought they were unhandcuffing him, but then they had some long white cloth.
Now, I do want to point out, a lot of people are critiquing this elected official for filming the arrest. That's not illegal. Again, we'll get into the laws. The illegal part is everything leading up to it. The admission to stalking, the admission to stalling, and things like that.
Looking thing, and again, we're far away and it's grainy, so it's hard to tell. And so now I don't know what they're doing.
To Love Me Girl Watch, I believe it is, and I can drop that in the chat. But Nikki and I will be out for the next few hours. Please send in updates, and it does look like MNPD is running around. Not sure what they're doing, but we're going to be following them and continuing to report back.
Now, you're about to see her question a local police officer. We'll get into that in a second, but I do want to point out, again, she's admitting to following local law enforcement and federal agents. I do want to point out, if you're not from the Nashville area, things have gotten way more dangerous, which is why this is so ridiculous that she's following law enforcement. They already have to risk their lives every day. Now they have to worry about an elected official stalking them.
All right, and here is MNPD, maybe coming to check in on us, perhaps. Let's see. How's it going? Are you guys helping ICE out tonight? Okay, all right. No, we're good.
Okay, so the mayor of Nashville, Tennessee has actually put out an executive order that local law enforcement, you're not allowed to work with ICE. You can't prevent anything, but you can't work with ICE unless you get permission. We'll dig into that later.
We were recording and they tried to block us. It just feels like there's a lot of presence. Well, it could get you in trouble, so be careful.
So you heard that last part, be careful, it can get you in trouble. Now, one thing I want to mention to give you guys full context, the mayor of Nashville, Tennessee has actually told civilians in the area, hey, make sure you are reporting any local law enforcement if you catch them working with ICE agents. I'm not making this up.
He's directed, police officers to report any communications with federal law enforcement. The Community Police Oversight Board, he's directing them, telling citizens to file complaints against police officers if they assist federal law enforcement. So they're really putting police in the vice and weaponizing this oversight board.
Now, here's where things get interesting. Tennessee has a very, very strict anti-sanctuary adoption policy. It is against the law throughout the entire state of Tennessee to adopt a sanctuary policy. This allows for federal agents like DHS or ICE to do their job. Now, here's where things get complicated. Local law enforcement like Metro Police in Nashville, they don't have to help and they don't have to assist ICE. However, they can't get in the way, which is why that elected official was questioning, hey, are you helping ICE? That can get you in trouble. This is because, again, there was an executive order from the mayor to tell local law enforcement just to stay out of the way, don't work with them unless you get permission. Now, because the law is so vague in Tennessee, this is why this state representative could be in some very big trouble. I mean, throughout the entirety of the video, she had no problem with saying, yeah, we did follow them, and by the way, here I am on footage in between two ICE officers. Regardless if ICE has any jurisdiction over them, ICE really did the right thing considering they admitted to following ICE. How does ICE know who they are? That is the problem, because the law is so vague and you are not allowed to get in the way of ICE doing their job. It is very easy to prove that this state representative got in the way of ICE doing their job, especially if you look at the vagueness of the law of the sanctuary policies and not getting in the way of ICE.
Not sure what they're doing, but we're going to be following them and continuing to report back.
We found the ICE and the THP people, and then we followed them to the gas station, and I took their spot at the gas station, so I think that made them a little upset. And then when I got out, they were leaving, so I left too. And then they pulled into another parking lot, and when I pulled into the other parking lot behind them, then they flicked their lights to pull us over and accused me of running a red light.
Now, the challenging thing about this entire video is that the representative, she doesn't seem to deny or care that, yes, she is following law enforcement. It's just when you get into that stalking category and impediment category, that's when things start to get very dangerous for her and her friend Nikki.
The mayor of Nashville criticized and attacked law enforcement verbally. He then instructed members of law enforcement to report any communication with federal authorities. He then directed the Police Community Oversight Board to direct citizens to file complaints against law enforcement if they cooperate with federal law enforcement.
Yes, absolutely. They perpetuate the violence against law enforcement officers. And what happens many times then is that our agents within the Department of Homeland Security go into situations with no backup, with no local response of people who know the communities, know the routes, the roads, or the needs to emergency services that may be there.
Okay, so that's pretty much the video. Let me know what you guys think down below. I will not be surprised if an investigation will be looked into what exactly this representative was trying to do. I'm curious if she's going to deny anything. I would be shocked because it's all literally on camera and she doesn't seem to have a problem with it. Especially Democrats in Nashville, Tennessee. They are super, super anti-ICE and these deportations. Anyway, thank you guys for everything. We'll see you all later and God bless. Peace.